This week on MUZoHUB, we jazz it up with a bit of jump blues and swing. Okay, welcome to MUZoHUB. This week we're joined by the Mockbells. They're very well known in the Central Victoria region. Hello guys, how are you?
Thanks.
They're all here except for one. Michael Timke had to leave. He played some music for us, but he had to leave. And but we still got the backbone of the band here. So I thought if we want to move along past Mike along Spiz, everybody introduce themselves and just say what you play in the band, what you do.
Okay, I'm Spiz and I play double bass and I'll hand you over to Gav.
I'm Gav, I play drums.
I'm Jimmy, I'm the piano player.
Mick, I'm on guitar.
The two guys up the end sing at times as
Did
well.
I? Oh,
Yes.
okay, yeah. Okay, so we just thought we'd start where we normally start, which is everybody just run through. I know you've got stories of your music history over the years, where you all started from, and your first. If you can just go back to your first memories of music when you were young, and what got you interested in playing music and being in a band.
Oh, I started off playing squeeze box actually.
Yeah.
And then I progressed from that to bass. I discovered the bass with some guys around Elmore. And my first bass was actually an acoustic with 4 strings on it, an acoustic guitar, 6-string guitar. Played with the speaker in an old tomato box. Plugged into a reel-to-reel on pause.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So Spiz, where did you? What's your first real memory of music? Is it in the family or?
No, I was the first musician in our family. But I suppose, yeah, the band that I joined up with first with some mates from around Elmore they were pretty formative. And then I remember a lot of jamming in the barn at the Frawley Ranch just out the road.
Yep.
Came across a lot of good characters.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very good.
And, yeah.
Okay, Gav, what's yours? What's your history of music?
I started off playing clarinet in grade 5, got into that, and then saw the drummers doing their thing up the back and thought, that'd be pretty cool.
Cool.
So,
Yeah.
I got into the drums then, about grade 6.
So did you have a family history of playing music? Anyone else in your family musical?
Yeah, my grandma used to sing on the radio, and my uncle he plays music. And
Yeah.
saw him doing that, rehearsing with his mates when I was growing up, and that got me into it too.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Very good. Jimmy, your turn, mate.
Oh, okay.
Jim, I'm sure Jimmy's got an interesting story, history.
Yeah, well, I guess the first thing was learning recorder at school, and not the dots on the page were making no sense, so I'd ask the bloke next to me, how does this one go? He'd hum a few bars and, oh yeah, right, yeah. But then I realised that I could do this,
Yeah.
and then started listening to a lot of music. And I had a great aunt who had a gramophone with some, she had a Louis Armstrong All-Stars 78 with Basin Street Blues on both sides.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's ripped off. But
Two A sides.
yeah, A side was like the commercial release,
Yeah.
all nice and tied in. The other side was the band going nuts
Okay.
on the same song. And I go,
Let me
I
guess.
like this one.
Yeah, I bet you played the B side all the time.
Yeah, sure did. Yeah.
Excellent. And Michael.
Yeah, I first remember seeing my first guitar at primary school when a student teacher brought an old acoustic in, and I couldn't believe the noise she got from it. I'd never seen one before.
Okay, yeah.
I thought, that's great, I'd love to have one of them. But didn't get one for years later. My father used to play in a Highland pipe band, and my brother.
Yep.
And some people say it's not music, but they used to do some great stuff.
Yeah.
really get rocking sometimes, these bands.
So what age were you when you finally got the guitar and got into it?
Oh, I think my brother got an acoustic guitar and I sort of pinched it off him when I was about 13 or something like that.
Yeah. And you also play sax too, or clarinet and sax, is it? Or
No, I haven't had the sax going for a long time.
oh, haven't you? Okay, all right. But you
might get one back.
Yeah, you used to that at one stage.
I
Yeah,
dabbled,
yeah, excellent. So the bands you've all been in, does anyone want to start with talking about any of the earlier bands before the Mockbells, local bands around Bendigo, or Mick?
Oh, people wouldn't probably know ones I were in. Things like Johnny Barr and the Erections, and the Resurrections, spelled with that way. And it's probably the same guys. We did Bed Bugs, and there's a couple I can't even remember that didn't last very long.
Yeah. All Bendigo based.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then these guys, we had a reception band for years and years and years after that.
The Cabaretos.
That's correct.
Yeah, very good. Very well known name around the Bendigo area. Jimmy, you've had a pretty wide history of bands you've played in, I take it, over the years?
Yep. The first one, first band that let me play with them was a band called Ram, which came out of a sort of an art school folk music sort of club in Bendigo.
Yep.
And four fellas, Russell, Adrian, Alan and Max, started a club in Bendigo. And that morphed into a kind of, in the blues explosion in the early 70s, into an electric band. And my mate Shane Day got the gig as their singer. So I used to hang around with the band and they'd let me play one song and then let me play two songs. And I was 16.
Yeah.
And travelling all around Victoria as you did in those days. Interesting looking at your collection of old mics there from the late Alan Williams. Yeah. Well, Alan recorded that band.
Oh, okay.
At McDonald House School for the Deaf. And it's about 1972. And it was a limited vinyl pressing.
Yeah, why would it have been at the School for the Deaf? Is that just so no one could listen in?
Or some treatments to one of the rooms.
Oh, yeah.
Acoustic treatments to the room. Yeah. And Alan bought his 4-track tape machine out there and all his mics.
And away you went.
Yeah.
Would you still have any of those recordings? Or
I have. I had tried to track one down. My sister has a copy.
Yeah.
But I haven't got one with me. No.
So, Jimmy, is it true that you played with Paul Kelly for a little while? Was that true?
Yeah, I did. In the, what would that be? Late 70s, perhaps. Yeah, late 70s. In Melbourne, I was playing with the Japanese comics around town, and Paul had a pretty good eye and ear for musicians playing around, and he asked me to come and play, and he learnt one of my songs that I'd written and took it over to Manila to record that album he did there.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've played with a couple of bands, not actually as a full-time band member, but a fill-in, and did a tour up the East Coast with them.
Excellent.
The Dots.
The Dots, yeah, very good. Yeah. Gav, what's your band history?
I played in a band called Rodiger for a while. Heading down to Melbourne and playing festivals and stuff around Victoria. Spent a fair bit of time doing that. And
so a bit of a step from there to the Mockbells, a different style of music, totally. Yeah,
heaps. Very different style. But while I was doing that, I was playing in a jazz group with various people. Yeah. Sort of, we were called the Green Luggage, but the members changed all the time.
Okay. Yeah.
Did a bit of that too.
Yeah, very good. And Spears, what's your band history?
Oh, wow.
I've only got half an hour.
No, don't need that long. Pretty much in a nutshell, I played with Brendan Frawley for a while. We had a band with a couple of other guys from around Bendigo. I was actually playing rhythm guitar in that band. And Then after that, I hooked up with a couple of guys, Milton and Jason Safoulis. They came from Deniliquin and they were just into weather report and all that sort of stuff. And we had a guy on piano, Lindsay Timms.
Okay.
That was fun. And then after that, I decided to head down to Melbourne with Paul Hollenberg, Kim Hollenberg, and Chris Harrington, Horse. And we formed a band called The Leftovers. And we played lots and lots of gigs and ran right in the middle of the pub rock scene, 79, 80, 81. Then after we finished the band, the Large Number 12s, I played bass with them. There was Horse and Wes, Harrington, and Paul Hollenberg on drums, and myself on bass. So that was a bit of a journey. And then it was the Cabs after that.
Cabaret Days, yep.
And then the Croakers with Kinger, who Jimmy's a member of as well. We still are. Robbie King on drums, and Marnie Sheehan.
Yep.
And so the Croakers still come out of the pond now and again, and the Mockbells. And there was another band I'd been rehearsing with, but unfortunately Barry Veith passed away just about a couple of weeks ago. So that's
a bit tough.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. There are other things that went on.
Yeah, you were telling me an interesting story before about the Leftovers little single that you put out.
Oh, right.
Yeah, what can you tell us about that one?
Oh, I've started getting emails from record companies in New York, like recording studios in New York, England, Sydney, asking if we've got the masters to the single that the Leftovers put out, Killing Time.
Okay, yeah.
And I found out just a couple of weeks ago why, because it's sort of bringing some ridiculous price, which I won't mention on air.
Tell me later, because I've got a copy of that, so tell me later.
Yeah, so, that was just, it's nice to know that. So, that was Killing Time, and Trudy Vaseline was on that as well. Chris Harrington wrote Trudy, and Kim Hollenberg wrote Killing Time.
So why the interest in it, do you think? Is it just nostalgia, or is it something else?
I think there's a bit of a, you wouldn't call it a cult, but just a little bit of a movement happening with that pop mod culture of the time, and it's being sought after.
Very
by,
good.
France and Europe. So I think it's just nice to know.
Very good, yeah. Now, maybe we'll move on to the Mockbells now, seeing that's what we're here for.
Yep.
So can you tell us, how you all got together, and what the story behind maybe the name? And people are interested in probably the names, the story behind the name, etc.
Nothing to do with trying to affiliate with any other highly respected people in the country, and nothing to do with that. It all came about 5 years ago, when a dear friend, Kate Frawley, from Elmore, who we all grew up just a few doors down from each other, phoned me and said, "Spiz, I'm having my final art exhibition." For those that don't know, Kate was injured in a car accident about 35 years ago, and she became a quadriplegic, and she went on to become a renowned mouth painter, mouth artist. And so she wanted to have her final art exhibition at a pub in Elmore. So she asked me if I could get something together, and we already had a ready-made band with Mick and Jim, but Kate wanted jazz, some ambient music. So we rehearsed some songs up, just played some standards. No drummer at the time, and over the period of about 6 months, Kate asked me what we were going to call ourselves for the promotion, and none of us could come up with a name. These guys over here were no help whatsoever. And it was getting down to the 11th hour, and Kate rang me and said, "Look, I need a name. This morning I can remember it. I was at the kitchen table and the newspaper was open, and there was a big spread about this certain person who'd been busted or flew the coop. I think he was in Greece looking for his wig or something.
Okay.
And I said, okay, just call us the Mockbells.
Yep.
So, okay, the promotion came out and, yep, she called us Tony Spiziker and Friends.
She's been very careful.
And so we just kept going after that, and we had ended up getting a residency at a hotel here in town, and we invited the drummer in, who sang as well, Rod Bradbury.
Yep.
Fantastic talent. Then things changed, and in the last 12 months, is it, we've had a lineup change, and so Gavin's taken to the Skins for us there. So
very good.
And
prior to that, all through the Cabarettos years, that was like our working band.
Yeah, yeah.
But we also had another little offshoot of that called the Golden Squares.
Oh, yeah, yep.
So, and that sort of catered for our eclectic taste in other sorts of music.
Yeah, yeah.
And in that band, Tony played the squeeze box.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
And,
They wouldn't let me near the bass. We had two really good bass players too, didn't we?
yeah, Cam.
Cam and Graham Lobley.
Graham, yeah.
Known as Toy.
Toy, yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So some of that material and that kind of liking for that sort of music spilled over to the Mockbells.
This, yeah.
But then has sort of found its own feet and moved on again.
So how would you describe it, Jimmy? How would you describe your music and who does the songwriting, etc., and all that? What's the
we've got 4 good songwriters. I don't know what's wrong with Gav. He hasn't come up with a tune yet. 4 good writers, and all willing to take a chance on a song and see if it will grow legs.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so what?
But the other material is stuff we like to play. Swinging, hot rock and roll.
Yeah.
Through to nice grooving jazz sort of tunes.
Yeah. So, whereabouts can people catch you? Do you have a Facebook page or something that you promote where you're playing, etc., around town?
Yes, it's a pretty simple one.
Yeah.
Facebook, themockbells.com.
The Mockbells, okay.
We've also got a Twitter account now. I don't think I've told the other guys yet.
Technology guys.
Yes, we've got a Twitter account, and I've actually got a website of my own, just tonyspiziker.com, but I'm thinking of changing it to themockbells.com. I don't know. If the other guys give me some money, I'll do it. But there's a Mockbells link there with some other stuff, other links to the Croakers and that, with a fair bit of history and videos and links.
So you're mainly playing local, or do you get out of town much at all?
We'll get over to Dalesford now and again, and we played at Wambuta. That was amazing. A couple of weekends ago, it's just out past Moama.
I was going to ask where Wambuta was.
And this hall, and it was called the Wambuta School of Arts.
Arts?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's good.
Yeah.
Very
country timber, country hall.
Yeah, excellent. All right, guys, we might wind it up there. Really appreciate you coming in.
Thanks for having us.
No worries. Everybody around Bendigo area would have to know. 90% of anyone that knows any musos around Bendigo would know most of these guys, I think. And just like to thank you for entertaining Bendigo for all these years, and keep going with it too. No retiring. Not allowed to retire when you're a muso.
No, that's right. And just keep an eye on the gig guides.
Yeah, no worries. And we'll finish up there, and we'll get the guys. The guys played a song for us before Michael had to leave before, and I might get Jimmy can introduce it and tell us which song it is.
This song's called "Clap Your Hands." It was written by myself and my good buddy, songwriting pal, Gary Adams, and it's a kind of soul-y, Motown-y, grooving song. I hope you like it.
1, 2, 3, 4. ever since the world began. How you feel don't matter, you feel a whole lot better. Yeah, I know you'll understand. Just to hold out your hands and clap. Let me hear you clap now, now. Come on, baby, clap. Yeah, yeah, clap. When you listen to this and you can't resist, well, that's Curtis Mayfield's plan. If the backbeat's slapping and your toes are tapping, well, you just gotta clap your hands. If you're young or old, the rhythm in your soul will help you understand. Every boy and girl all around the world, come on now, clap your hands. Tears and laughter, it's the same old story ever since the world began. How you feel don't matter, you feel a whole lot better. Yeah, I know you understand. Just to hold out your hands and clap. Let me hear you clap now, 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 baby. Yeah. Come on, baby, clap. Yeah, yeah, clap. Oh, yeah.
If you'd like to stay connected with MUZoHUB, don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter.